Throughout history, the destruction of great libraries has been a poignant loss for humanity, erasing vast repositories of accumulated knowledge. These libraries were more than mere structures, they were the custodians of civilization's intellectual wealth. Here, we delve into the annals of history to explore some of the most notable lost libraries from around the world. 1. Library of Ashurbanipal. Existed during the 7th century BCE, the Library of Ashurbanipal was part of the Royal Assyrian Palace complex in Nineveh, located in what is now modern-day Mosul, Iraq. It was named after Ashurbanipal, the last great king of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. In 612 BCE, the combined forces of the Babylonians and the Medes besieged and captured Nineveh. It is believed that the library suffered extensive damage or destruction during this period of conquest. Fortunately, the clay tablets containing the cuneiform writings were able to survive beneath the ruins over the centuries. The library's remains were later rediscovered by archaeologists in the mid-19th century, providing valuable insights into the ancient Mesopotamian civilization. 2. Library of Shenyang Palace. The Library of Shenyang Palace was associated with the Qin dynasty, the first imperial dynasty of ancient China. Shenyang served as the capital of the Qin dynasty, and it was during the rule of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, that the dynasty reached its peak. While the exact details of the library in Shenyang Palace are not well documented, it is believed that the Qin court would have housed a collection of texts and documents. Unfortunately, during the fall of the Qin dynasty in 206 BCE, amid internal strife and rebellion, Shenyang Palace was captured and set on fire. This event likely led to the destruction of any documents or collections that were housed in the palace, contributing to the loss of historical and cultural knowledge from the Qin period. 3. Library of Alexandria. The Library of Alexandria was one of the most famous libraries of the ancient world, located in the city of Alexandria, Egypt. Founded in the 3rd century BCE, it became a major center of scholarship and cultural exchange during antiquity. The fate of the Library of Alexandria is a topic of historical debate. It is generally agreed that it suffered multiple incidents of damage over several centuries. Possible causes include wars, including the Roman conquest of Alexandria in 48 BCE, and the decline of classical scholarship. While the physical library no longer exists, its legacy lives on in the collective memory of history. The loss of the Library of Alexandria is often lamented as one of the greatest cultural tragedies of antiquity. 4. Library of Celsus. The Library of Celsus was located in Ephesus, one of the largest cities of the Roman Empire in what is now present-day Turkey. It was an impressive architectural marvel, featuring a 2-story facade with Corinthian-style columns and statues. The interior housed a large reading room and repositories for scrolls. The Library of Celsus and its contents were destroyed in a fire that resulted either from an earthquake or a Gothic invasion in 262 CE. 5. Library of Antioch. While not as famous as the Library of Alexandria, the Library of Antioch was an important center of learning and culture during antiquity. It was built by Antiochus the Great of the Seleucid Empire around the end of 3rd century BCE in present-day Turkey. The library, along with the city itself, was considered by some to be the cultural capital of the ancient world, even more prestigious than Pergamon. The precise details of the destruction of the Library of Antioch are not well recorded. Antioch, being a prominent city in the ancient world, faced various challenges and conflicts over the centuries, contributing to the loss of its cultural and intellectual heritage. 6. Library of Al-Hakam II. The Library of Al-Hakam II was built in the 10th century in Córdoba, Spain during the reign of Caliph Al-Hakam II. It was one of the largest and most renowned libraries of the medieval Islamic world, housing a vast collection of books. Al-Hakam II is said to purchase books from places as far as Constantinople, Damascus, and Baghdad. Scholars from different religious backgrounds, including Jewish and Christian, contributed to the intellectual richness of the library. Following the death of Al-Hakam II, All ancient science books deemed heretical in the library were destroyed by Hajib al-Mansur. The library may have suffered further damage during the political turmoil that followed the collapse of the Caliphate of Córdoba in the 11th century. 7. Library of Nalanda. Considered by historians to be the world's first residential university, Nalanda Mahavihara was a large complex of Buddhist monastery located in present-day Bihar, India. At its peak, the monastery attracted scholars and students from lands as far as Tibet, China, Korea, Southeast Asia, and Central Asia. Traditional Tibetan sources mention the existence of a great library at Nalanda named Dharmaganja, which comprised 3 large multi-storied buildings. The library not only collected religious manuscripts, but also had texts on subjects such as grammar, logic, literature, astrology, astronomy, and medicine. Between 1197 and 1206 CE, General Bakhtiyar Khilji from the Ghurid dynasty invaded Indian subcontinent, leading to mass flight and massacres of Buddhist monks, including at Nalanda. Tibetan records affirm that monks from Nalanda and nearby monasteries such as the Vikramashala monastery who survived the slaughter, fled to Tibet. 8. Library of Baghdad. The Beit al-Hikmah or House of Wisdom was a major Abbasid public academy and intellectual center in Baghdad, and one of the world's largest public libraries during the Islamic Golden Age. It was founded by either Caliph Harun al-Rashid or al-Mansur in the 8th century, and further expanded by Caliph al-Ma'mun. The House of Wisdom included a society of scientists and academics, a translation department, astronomical observatory, and a public library. It continued to flourish for many years until its decline under the reign of al-Mutawakkil, a conservative who was not interested in science and philosophy. The House of Wisdom was finally destroyed by the Mongols during the siege of Baghdad in 1258 CE. The books from Baghdad's libraries were thrown into the Tigris River in such quantities that the river was said to have run black with the ink from their pages. 9. Library of Constantinople. Constantinople or present-day Istanbul in modern Turkey was the capital city of Byzantine Empire. The Imperial Library of Constantinople was the last of the great libraries of the ancient world, preserving knowledge of the ancient Greeks and Romans for almost 1,000 years. The library was founded by Constantius II in the 4th century as scriptorium for the surviving works of Greek literature. Most of the Greek classics we have today are known through Byzantine copies originating from this library. Over the centuries, several fires in the Imperial Library of Constantinople damaged much of the collection. On 1204 CE, the library was allegedly destroyed by the Franks and Venetians of the Fourth Crusade during the sacking of Constantinople. 10. Maya codices. While not a single library, the ancient Mayans had a rich tradition of written knowledge in the form of codices. They were written in Mayan hieroglyphic script by professional scribes working under the patronage of deities. Such codices were the primary written records of Mayan civilization, together with the many inscriptions on stone monuments and stelae that survived. They contain valuable information about Mayan culture, astronomy, and history. Most of these codices were systematically destroyed by Spanish conquistadors and missionaries during the colonial era. Only a handful survived, leaving a significant gap in our understanding of pre-Columbian Mayan civilization. The destruction of great libraries throughout history represents not only a loss of knowledge, but also an erasure of the cultural and intellectual contributions of past civilizations. As we reflect on these tragedies, it becomes imperative to recognize the fragility of our collective heritage and the importance of safeguarding libraries as bastions of enlightenment for future generations. What do you think about the lost libraries from ancient times? Tell us what you think in the comments section and do not forget to subscribe.